Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to... Oh my god, I don't have Mountain Dew. It's empty. It's empty.
So we're doing Overwatch. I'm going to do some ranked. You can see that I am absolute trash at this game. This MMR puts me solidly below the 50th percentile, which is really sad, really sad and pathetic. But that's just me with shooters. I'm very bad at them. So today we're probably going to play some Doomfist. If I decide that I actually want to win games, I might play some Mercy. Unfortunately, I've lost my head for the game, so I'm not as good at Mercy as I used to be because I keep not playing her. So I used to be much better at Mercy. I used to actually be good at Mercy, but these days, not so much. So one of the big problems is that a lot of the most impactful heroes to play as are some of the most boring to play as if you're in a pub. And sort of generally, they're kind of dull to play as by comparison because you're not really moving around and acting as much. Like if you're playing Reinhardt properly, you spend a lot of time just sitting there while your team mows everyone down from behind a shield. So I'm going to lock in Doomfist early. But one of the things that I find incredibly funny in like low MMR brackets is that it doesn't matter how low your MMR is. It doesn't matter how bad the players, by definition, must be that you're playing with. They will always talk shit about each other as if they're not all trash. And it's really funny because it's like most people... I acknowledge fully that I am very bad at Overwatch, right? Like, I'll be the first to say, yes, I am terrible at Overwatch. But I don't like go around talking shit and then like blaming the rest of the team, like going, oh, you're bad at this, and you're bad at this. Occasionally, you have someone who's particularly like especially bad, right? Like when you're playing with a Pudge in Dota, and you're like, wow, those hooks are really something special, right? But it's not too common that I think one person in particular is doing badly. Five, four, three, two, screw you. So anyway, so I might do some more streaming with my friends later this weekend, but very likely not. But yeah, I'm going to try to move my weekend streams to just more casual, like stuff like Overwatch and, fun stuff like that, as opposed to doing, like my mainline streaming, because I want sort of the weekend stream to be sort of a low-key, just hanging out kind of thing, as opposed to working on something difficult. Now, obviously, Overwatch isn't exactly easy, but I mean, I would guess that for most people, playing Overwatch at this level would be very easy, but because like at this level, I've noticed that I have a friend who actually plays shooters, and when I play with him and he actually plays Tracer, he can just completely carry the entire game. Like the players are just so bad and they have no capacity to deal with Tracer that a well-played Tracer can just take over the entire game, and just murder everyone by sheer skill, I guess. I think that's what it's called. It's a thing I'm not familiar with, really. Conceptually, I understand what it's supposed to be, but I don't think I've ever experienced it myself. So, Doomfist is kind of an assassination hero. I tend to play him around corners and things like that because... No, that's not good. Nope. Far right. No. Bail right away. So, as you can see, no, I'm not good at this. But I haven't really played very much Doomfist. I'm still learning the hero. And one thing that I actually did notice is that at some point I'm going to need to set up my... set up my situation properly. So we've got far. That's not good. Fail. Oh shit! I'm not sure actually how I missed her there. That was particularly bad play. I'm not usually quite that bad. I'm not necessarily a lot better than that, but I usually play at least a bit better than that. Unfortunately, the Pharah went first. If the Pharah hadn't come in first through that door, then I probably would have gotten somebody. But we'll see. But Doomfist has some cool... you don't want me to play Doom? Okay, fine. I'm going to play. You know... I'm going to go with this, you know. Now, this is probably going to end badly. I don't think that anybody's going to play properly, so... But we'll see. Lucio's kind of an interesting hero because he can completely change the entire fight just by having the team make a couple of key movements at the very beginning. So how much you want that? Something blows up instantly. That would be a yes. Turned off speed boost. The Mercy is ahead of the Reinhardt for some reason. Oh god. Yep. I don't foresee this ending well. But it might. We'll see. Oh, good. Well, we got one of them. Oh, great, he stopped. Damn it. Oh, wow. The funny thing is that I would have been I would have been fine if he hadn't been in the air, because the hammer down doesn't work until he lands. So he got knocked up in the air, and it interfered with the there. Let me go ahead and speed boost. Nice. So that actually might be a clear. Probably not, but it's possible. Because we're going to be getting back pretty fast with a Lucio. And he can charge in. And I don't think he hit anybody with a charge in, so... Damn it. Okay. We can get back in there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to clear off of that. Okay, let's do it. Get in there, May! Speed boost is active. Yeah, that's not the purpose of Reinhardt. So we don't really have a great like synergy with the Reinhardt. Then they would put up a wall between me and the tank. Well, that was a very fast wipe. But yeah, unfortunately, there isn't a huge amount of synergy because Reinhardt is mostly good for having long-range DPS stand behind his shield. We don't actually have anybody to do that, so we would be probably better off. We're certainly better off coming in through here. But we would probably be better off with a monkey. really fucking bad ult on my part. I didn't see the kill feed because I'm a noob. I think I just cost us the game. Right there. You cannot use bad ults as a Lucio. If you fuck up your ult as a Lucio, then you have lost the game, basically. So because the Lucio is a very sort of weird support. He doesn't really do a lot of he doesn't do a lot of work in terms of like healing throughput. And they are going in, and they fed. So. So they ran in before the Reinhardt had arrived, which means that we lose the game. I was trying to keep the Reinhardt up because we're not going to arrive. If he goes down, then that's the end of the game, definitely. Whereas if he can pull out some clutch plays, then we'd be able to potentially do something. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, where like people will like talk shit about like hero choice and stuff like that, and it's like, if you know how to play Mei, then just play Mei, because this is like trash tier. Nobody's actually playing with a coherent strategy anyway. So I will turn up the volume a bit if you want. Mole. I won't actually, because the game volume is at max. So I'll take a look at my. I think these settings are in place so that I can actually use the in-game voice chat. Because if I turn up the in-game volume, then I can't hear the voice chat. I have a very difficult time understanding people's voices and distinguishing it from background noise, because I'm half deaf in one ear. So I have to keep the volume really, really low. Alright, so we're continuing our losing streak. I actually have been losing just about every game since I got, let's see, ooh, I like Zarya pick. Well, so much for the Zarya pick. Okay, somebody else picked Zarya, I like that. Zarya is a really, really good pick. I really like Zarya. Zarya is a lot of utility. She's a great sort of support DPS. I don't really think of her as like filling a tank role. This is actually one of the problems that Overwatch has, is that the descriptors for the heroes in terms of like what they're supposed to do are actually not very stellar. I don't really feel like it, but the problem is the Mercy isn't terribly good. I can't play an Ana. If I could play Ana, then sure, but I can't play Ana. I'm not playing Lucio again. I don't think that Lucio has a very high amount of impact on payload. Like, people want like 2-2-2 and stuff like that because they think that there's some like magic to like the composition, but there is no composition magic. Oh, shit. Damn it. I forgot that wall was there. Okay, so, unfortunately the Bastion came back, but I think that we're gonna pretty easily clear here. Oh, shit. Sorry. Looking at my phone. Oh, there's a Tracer on the team. Or no. Yes. Tracer, that is her name. I didn't even know that there was a Tracer on the enemy team. But yeah, that was my bad. I wasn't looking at the I wasn't looking at the screen. That death was completely avoidable. I'm sure she was in plain sight if I had been actually looking at the screen. I need to get a second monitor so that I can actually look at the chat without staring at my phone. Let's see. That's a really bad res. I don't know why you would res there. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get the... Shit. Did I miss her? I think I missed. Oopsie oopsie. But yeah, the enemy team has a Bastion, so we need to deal with that. Oh. One thing that I need to be substantially better at is the Z-axis, because I missed. 2 HP Meteor Strike. Yeah. Did she just use her ult? I had 2 HP. So, this guy's ult is kind of interesting because it's a really powerful ult if you have setup. And if you don't have setup, it's largely useless. You use it to basically zone people and force them to move as opposed to actually getting kills. Let's see here. Whoa, shit. Found the Bastion. Oh, shit. Oh, that's not the Bastion. That's just the Molten Core turret. Okay. I can't actually kill the turret in one set of thingamabobber. Okay. Just trapped myself like a noob. Well, he's dead. But yeah, I'm not super high impact right now, but I don't have the aim necessary to use anybody who's actually good in the open. Because I don't think that a tri-tank combo is a good plan. That was pretty badass, actually. Okay, I need to get the hell out of here. Okay. What did I get killed? Oh, god damn it, the D.Va killed me. Oh well. I got the dwarf. No, the D.Va didn't kill me? What? Oh, I must have gotten... I must have walked into that guy's trap or something. So this is a much better spot for Doomfist. There we go. And May versus Doomfist is kind of an interesting combo. Or not combo, but matchup. Because, god damn it. Shit, he just... Nope. Shit. But yeah, Junkrat is way better than he used to be. Like, Junkrat used to be pretty trash. How did she not hit that wall? She didn't go anywhere. I'm on fire. This Mercy isn't really paying very much attention. So once you get into the areas where Doomfist actually thrives, you can get some pretty good work done. The center part of that map is particularly bad for Doomfist. I think the first part is fine, but the second part of that map can be pretty rough depending on where the enemy team is. He's also extraordinarily bad against Pharah. So, defending on Route 66. I would like to actually win this, so what do I want to pick? So, I could sim. I don't know that it's not the same. I don't know that that's my best bet. I don't think this is a great map for Symmetra, because there isn't a great choke. Swap to Zen. I can't play Zen, just so we're clear, but Zen is the kind of hero where if you're at super far range, you have the potential to do a lot of work without actually having to play him well. The biggest thing you need to do with Zen is get your Discord Orb up and make sure that you're actually getting people healed, because a lot of Zenyatas do not do any meaningful healing while they're Zen. They just don't do much. So, arena fight here. I don't think this is a good enough choke to really justify it, but okay. I'm gonna get upstairs. Damn it. So Reaper came in from behind and gibbed me. I don't know who I'd rather be. But yeah, I don't think that that was a good spot to try and defend. I mean, not for this team and matchup anyway. So he's toast. This has a pretty long cooldown, actually. It's much longer than I would have expected. the moving the orb is actually pretty thingamabobber. Yeah, I'm a absolutely terrible Zenyatta, so I don't know why I'm playing Zenyatta. It's just not a good idea. Let's feed those damage numbers. High noon. Wow, that's a lot of ults. Unfortunately, the Mercy got caught, so... And I didn't have my ult, but now I do. Okay, so... So... there comes the justice. I managed to delay a bit, but that's not going to probably result in a team wipe. Yeah, we didn't wipe them. At some point, I'm going to have to swap off of this hero and play something that I'm actually decent at. I don't think that I'll have a huge amount of impact if I swap to like a Lucio or something. But high noon. And let's see. I don't know why I'm saying that out loud. It's not like I'm on voice chat. Okay. Well. So we've already got the orb on her. She is charging when she shouldn't. I don't think that you should start charging until you have your armor back. Honestly. Once you have armor, you're good. But when you have only HP to play with, you shouldn't be charging. Unfortunately, we just don't have much damage going on right now. I'm actually doing a decent amount of healing. That's not good. Unfortunately, because wow, that's actually really interesting. I would not have expected, because I just now really noticed this, but I would not have expected them to be able to do this well with a Symmetra. On the plus side, I don't think that they're pushing the thing because they came deep for the supports. And unfortunately, I didn't kill the Reaper. If I had gotten the Reaper, that probably would have been play of the game because that would have been 2 shutdowns in a row. I did. Damn, he was behind. That was a really good high noon. So that's not good. I think that we just lost to that. Oh. Yeah, that's a pipe. Okay, so this is going to come down to how far we can push the payload. Oh, wait, maybe not. We've got it contested. I don't think that we're going to prevent them from doing this. Yeah. So this is going to largely just come down to who can push further. We have more time than they do. So our goal is basically just to wipe them as at the spawn. We need to prevent them from pushing the payload at all, because 2 minutes is not very long. So for some reason I thought we were on attack, but it's fine. We don't have to hold very long, so ults don't come into play. And I think that Doomfist has a reasonably weak ult, because it needs to be comboed with another in order to be useful at all. And, yeah, don't die indeed. They only have a minute. I don't think that it's wise to give them this much room. And I don't think it really makes much sense to give them all this space to play with. I don't think we're going to be using ults. Shit. I accidentally canceled my charge. So we need to wipe them here. We just need one wipe. Wow, I am playing really shit right now. But I really don't like letting them get that close to the end. It's just way too far. It's not a good choke, I don't think. there's because they have a lot of avenues of attack. They have a lot of places they can come from, and we don't really get much utility out of it. Like, there's no reason to wait until they get all the way to there. Most of the time, like, you want to wait to, like, go for a specific choke, but I don't think that this is a good enough choke for... I guess we're going to have to, actually... I'm going to swap, because I was not expecting... I really do not like the fundamental strat that they are implementing here. Particularly for something with this little time, because all you have to do is wipe them once, basically, and you've won. So, we have a minute 40, which basically means that we can't wipe once. For this, I'm actually going to go with Lucio, because we have to be on the point. The AoE healing is going to be more valuable than what Zenyatta is going to bring to the table for this. Seconds. Okay. I wish I knew where that far was. Taking that so that I can see my allies' HP, so I think that it's a bad idea to delay there. If I just take it, then it prevents the enemies from walking in and taking it. And I know that none of my allies need it. So she uses her ult. Got it. Alright, so they didn't actually get that far in this one, so we should have decent opportunity here. They actually have buffed Lucio's healing. He heals substantially faster now. So he used to heal anyone in line of sight basically. He technically had a range, I think, but it was effectively unlimited. There we go. Done. Maybe if I had played Lucio earlier instead of the other one, it would have been better. The problem with Lucio is that he's kind of dull to play as, and he's kind of dull to watch. He would be cool if I could use any of Lucio's like combos, which when you're playing with a team you can, but people don't appropriately like respond to speed boost and stuff like that. So if you do use a speed boost appropriately, it's very easy to get like some really fast wins, because people do not handle speed boosted characters very well. So you know, I think the reason that the voice chat is causing problems is because I'm maybe it's because I'm live. Ooh, we've got a pink Orisa. But yeah, Doomfist is a really cool hero, but at the end of the day, he's a DPS, and so he has trouble. You know what would be awesome? I would love for a War Priest style healer in this game. I think that would be badass. Like a melee, moderately tanky healer type would be really cool. Basically, in Warhammer Online, there's a War Priest, and he has this ability to basically heal people by hitting the enemy with a hammer. So you have this giant maul, and you smash the enemy with a hammer, and then it basically gives lifesteal healing to an ally. It's really badass. So you can choose which ally it heals. It heals in an AoE around that ally, I believe. So like you can, if you have a lot of people in melee, you can AoE heal and like do all sorts of cool stuff. But whoa, that's interesting. So defending King's Row. I really wish that I could play heroes like Soldier. I'm just gonna play Doomfist. It's right in the name, right? I need to play Doomfist. Yeah, Doomfist has a huge amount of utility. There's a lot of cool shit that he can do, and I really enjoy playing him. And if I eventually get get decent at the game, then I can I'm playing super cheeky right now. I can't afford to play super cheeky with this lineup. We don't have enough durability. Like, there's no way that the front line is going to hold if I die. So we've got... Who is that that's feeding? Oh, it's Junkrat. Oh, god damn it, I got sniped by the Widow then. It's really sad. I need to start working on my control settings to get myself a better setup. Because this is not how you're supposed to actually control shooters. I just saw the Widowmaker go by. I don't know why I did that. That was way too early. Okay, we've got the aim hacks on the enemy side. How did I not kill? Okay. No, not high enough. Yeah, when I was first playing Doomfist, I tried to play him as like a tanky character that had high survivability, but I don't think that that's really the way that he's meant to be played. Doomfist is an assassin, and he's meant to be played as such. The goal is to be out of line of sight, then come into sight for the charge. This Widow is good. She takes a few shots and then she's just fucking gone. I'm really appreciative of this Widow's gameplay. She's very good. Get it. Whew. So, can we take point one? Oh, somebody else picked Doomfist first. That's too bad. I'll pick Pharah. I haven't played Pharah in a while, but if he's gonna play that character, I'll pick Doomfist. I mean, Doomfist really does pair very well with Zarya. So my goal is basically just to get behind, hopefully kill the support. Etc., etc. I am concerned about that Widow. That Widow was really good. I was really impressed with her. Every time I went to go grab her, and I was reasonably close by each time, she was ready for it and she was gone. It wasn't like I was chasing her around the map or something. She was just gone. So she'd get a couple of kills and then disappear. So, quite impressed with the Widow. Okay, so we've got... No, that's bad. That would have been a bad pop-in. Okay, so the Reinhardt's now completely out of position. Unfortunately, just lost his area. Oh, he jumped over my fucking charge. It's beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna go in for the backstab. This is. We don't have anybody to walk in the front door. So, pop in there. That was not a great time to use a Zarya thing on me. I need to take some more risks when I'm on offense like this because we just need to get some kills. So they have a teleporter, and we should be in a reasonably good position here. Damn it! Eureka killed me. I would have gotten that Reaper. No. But yeah, there's been times when I've been really good with Doomfist, but it's not necessarily... It's not common. But I love the hero, so... And I don't like playing in non-competitive because it's not the same game. I don't like playing these half matches. Okay, so their teleporter is just behind that building. Is there anybody that I could swap to that would help me? Did I get it? Didn't. Nope. There we go. Whew. We got it. Yeah. It's always unpleasant to get spawned directly into the sentries. Okay, so leave the game. Look at that amazing MMR. Oh my goodness. Let's open up a loot box. Death is everywhere. And let's see here. Oops. But generally speaking, when you're playing shooters, you're supposed to play them with your arm. You're supposed to move your arm. That's how anyone who actually is decent at aiming aims. Whereas people like me just do this, which is, you would think that your wrist is a better, like, fine-tuned instrument, but you're actually really hurting yourself by doing that, because when you're moving your arm, you reduce the mouse sensitivity. So then you move your entire arm, and so you don't need to use any fine-tuning in order to do it, right? So you don't overshoot as much and things like that. Like, a lot of the times when I make a micro adjustment, I'll overshoot it. I would do less of that if I was actually playing properly. But the problem is that I don't play shooters often enough for me to devote, you know, a couple of weeks of gameplay to learning how to play properly with, like, proper settings and stuff like that. That's just not something that I've ever had an interest in investing in. So you have been probed. Estimated time is 1:21. Elapsed time is 2:17. So what is his? I've got a golden fist. So shiny. But yeah, I do think that Doomfist could really use a pink option. I think that anytime you're going to have a character who's basically Captain Falcon, you need to have the pinky option, because the pinky option was great. I used to main what's his name? I used to main Captain Falcon, so we have no tanks and no supports. I guess. Oh, so he had the same idea I did. I don't think that it makes sense for me to use Reinhardt. I could try doing Roadhog because he's fun. But yeah, that kind of simplified, like, 2 tank, 2 support DPS thing is weird. Because it's like you want to have heroes that actually complement each other. And if I picked Reinhardt, for instance, Reinhardt doesn't complement this kind of matchup at all. I would honestly argue that I would have been better off picking Zarya, because then I could put a boost shield on the Winston. But, because, like, the Winston's already in there. Yep. So Mei is fucking trolling us, apparently. How did I not kill? Because it's not like I missed. Okay, Mei is definitely trolling her own team. She just blocked us from getting onto the point. And yes, I'm terrible with this character, but I'm actually more terrible with this character than most, because he actually has, like, the possibility of doing useful things. Oh god, I have gold for healing. It's never a good sign. Oops, that's the wrong ability even. I don't know what's going on with it. These hooks are really far away. I don't know if they've changed the... I think they've changed the way that Roadhog, his hook works. I should have hooked him. Oh god, I'm Wolford. It's never good when you're playing this badly and you're like got this many medals. At least I'm not gold for healing anymore, because that was not promising. This person is like trying to get themselves killed. Just, yeah. So this is going to be rough, but the question is, what do I want to swap to? But I do not blame people for telling May to swap, because May is sort of like a special case where May can actually fuck up the entire team with her walls. So those ice walls that blocked us off of the point, like this May needs to be reported. I need to remember to do that, because this May is clearly deliberately using the wall to screw up their own team, which is a reportable offense. Okay. That's too far, actually. Glad I'm amazing at this hero. I know what his range is. Okay, well, we got the objective. Oops. Oh. Well, why was she... Did she go the same way I did? Why would she do that? God, you don't walk away from the goddamn thing. You split up because somebody's gonna die. Like, I was legitimately... I saw where she was going. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna move away from you. Life is sad. that's a problem. That's not a big problem though. So I should probably. I don't like to play Roadhog as an up close and personal hero because I think you lose out on a lot of his utility that way. He actually has pretty decent range. Has High Noon gone off yet? So he's dead. I misjudged when he would drop his thing. Damn it. Oh. No. Well, I suck it. Fire in the hole. Damn. I guess I should probably just get on this. Boop. Hook. Alright, so let's see how round 3 goes. Which point is... I don't even know what I have here. Just the X. Oh, God damn it. But the May is like... I was wondering if I could hold down the button and not actually use it. Oh, this poor Mercy. How did she survive, though? Okay, Mei is, like, you can see her just fucking trolling here. I don't know why I tried to hook it. Let's see. No. Okay. Like, I'll honestly be shocked if we win this. Just because the Mei is trolling so hard. Like, she's not just doing it at the beginning of the matches, she blocked my ult there. So... Oh. Somebody got it. Damn. That's a bad time to do that. Oh god, I found the Bastion. Wow, everybody has about the same amount of damage. I had silver damage done just a second ago, and now I have nothing, so... So the Bastion's dead. Unfortunately, I'm about to be dead too, don't I? That's not good. Oh. Ultimate shutdown. Plus 50. Alright, well, we did it. Wow. That Humlek guy, though, Jesus. How do I report? They make it way too fucking difficult to report. I'm not even sure if I want to mention the ultimate block. Reports like yours make Overwatch a better and friendlier place to play. Well, I find that unlikely, but we'll see. One of the unfortunate things is that because in these sort of pseudo-competitive games, because Overwatch has a legitimate competitive community, but you're only doing pseudo-competitive if you're doing like, if you're only one person and you're solo queuing, you're not really playing a competitive game. But for things like this, one of the problems is that the developers would love to just ban all the people that are toxic, but the problem is that so many people in the game are toxic, it would actually legitimately cripple their player base because there's just so many toxic players. There's just so many that are bad at, you know, handling the social element of the game, right? There's just a lot of people who deliberately fuck with their own team because it's easier than being able to fuck with the enemy, I guess. Like, that's all I can think of. Let's see. You know what? All mercy. This is an okay setup for a Reinhardt. So the key with a Reinhardt is that, again, you kind of want to have... Oh, actually, for this... I really like who's... yeah. I actually really like Doomfist on this map. That's okay. I'll just play support for right now. Flame strike. Okay, don't flame strike. Nope, that's not how it's done. So the Reinhardt went around the side and then was just sitting there blocking with his shield, but he's not blocking anybody, so why are you doing it? It's one of the interesting aspects of this game is that, like, different people have different reasons for being in whatever bracket they're in. Like, I should be able to just, like... What killed me there? Is that a turret? I saw something red down there somewhere. That's a 3-person. So the issue here is that we don't have anybody who is like dealing any damage really. So there's no damage coming out, which means that we're just sort of all dying slowly. I'm just gonna wait. Hello. After this match, I'll end the stream. Alright, so my wife is awake, so after this stream I'll be ending, or after this match rather. So I'm going to go ahead and swap because there's absolutely no reason for me to be a healer in a matchup like this. Let's see. I'm going to swap to Roadhog. We now have no healer. Perfect. You know, the funny thing is that we might actually be better off with no healer. Depending on how, like, the layout of this team. I have actually seen successful wins with no healer before. And the reason is just because the let's see. What was I gonna say? If the DPS are playing badly enough, then, and the tanks for that matter, then the healers aren't actually accomplishing anything. So by swapping the healers into DPS, you have more people that can potentially actually do something useful. Unfortunately, they have Zarya. There we go. Damn it. That sucks. He came back for me specifically. But yeah, there are definitely matches where you have to recognize that you do not want to pick the thing that should be optimal for the team. You have to pick the thing that you think is going to have the most impact. And I haven't had a huge amount of impact on this hero. But like the Sombra pick is actually big because it functions to a degree like a healer while simultaneously allowing you to do quite meaningful damage. Oh, I thought I was going to get there around that. That charge. But by keeping myself alive and able to deal damage, it's kind of a waste. I thought that there were more up there. Like, the enemy healers can't get any succor. Yeah, if we actually win this with no supports, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. I don't think it's likely. I fail. I just tried to charge up a Doomfist. Yeah, like, healers have the ability to be high impact, but their impact is percentage based, right? So it's based off of the, like, they're fundamentally enabling someone else. I thought that if I got it from behind, I'd actually get it, but apparently not. So we got the point back. I suck at life. Let's see here. They're gonna take the objective. They're gonna win this, but that was way closer than the first round was. The first round was so fucking one-sided. So, that's going to be it for today. That's the last of our attempts here. I guess I could have... I probably should have swapped off of Roadhog for that last thing, because maybe I would have been able to get back to the point, but I wouldn't have been able to do anything useful. So, this is our Sombra. So this is the person who was playing a healer before, and you can sort of see, like, by this person swapping, look at that. Like, that's fucking crazy. And if I'd realized just how big of a, difference that person was going to make, I probably would have swapped back to support. But I didn't realize that person was going to be playing that well. So anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure shooting for you today, and I hope to see you all again next time.